What percentage of your agents would you say, what's your best estimate, what percentage have been called to do immigration enforcement? What percentage of the 200 have at some point in the last 150 days been called away to work on an immigration enforcement action?
Sir, the reason I'm having a hard time answering the question is because we work immigration enforcement as it relates to narcotics enforcement. So the two are intimately combined, and that's what our agents are doing.
Okay.
Well, for instance,
you know what I'm asking you. With all due respect, you know what I'm asking you. So, what percentage of your agents have been called away to work on immigration raids? That is a departure from what you were doing before 150 days ago.
Sir, my people do not do strictly immigration raids.
What percentage of your agents have worked on immigration enforcement in the last 150 days? Can you give me an estimate?
Again, it's not just immigration enforcement, sir. So
okay. You clearly don't want to answer the question, Mr. Allen.
Hey, everyone. Welcome back to Capital Insights. Today's hearing was supposed to be a slam dunk for Adam Schiff. He came prepared with stats, tough questions, and a mission to corner law enforcement officials on immigration enforcement and resource diversion. But what happened next? Total backfire. Schiff didn't get the answers he expected. In fact, he walked right into a wall of operational reality he wasn't ready for, and it showed. Make sure to stick around because what unfolded wasn't just awkward, it was revealing.
To the degree that your resources are diverted to immigration operations against nonviolent immigrants, against farm workers or garment workers or restaurant workers, I am worried about diverting the focus away from interdicting fentanyl and going after these cartels. So let me ask you, how many field agents do you have in L.A.?
So approximately 200.
And of the 200 field agents in L.A., how many of them have, in the last 150 days, worked on immigration enforcement?
That's a tough question to answer, sir, just because it's such an ebb and flow. It's not like we have people permanently assigned to just work immigration enforcement. Because, as I said before, we're really primarily focused on continuing our work in drug enforcement, and the crossovers that fall into place with illegal immigration. I mean, that's where we
give us your best ballpark. Have a third of them been assigned at least temporarily, or half of them, or more? Is everyone participating to some degree?
I would say at any one time, that's a decent estimate. But as again,
sorry, which estimate? About 30%.
At any one time, not necessarily at one time, but at any given time. There could be 5%, there could be 2%, there could be 30%. It just depends on what's going on that day and what type of support we can offer.
But give us some sense. I want to know what kind of call on your resources this is.
Well, I can actually give you a couple of good examples of things we've done recently.
I'm really not looking for examples. I'm looking for how much your workforce is being diverted to immigration enforcement. And away from things that they were doing previously.
Well, specifically immigration enforcement only, that's not what we're focused on. It's just not, sir.
Okay, so how many of the 200 agents have worked in immigration enforcement?
At any given time, anybody could.
No, just overall. Have all 200 been called away at some point to work on immigration enforcement?
No, sir.
Okay, so how many have?
I really would have a hard time giving you an answer on that, sir.
You're running the office.
I am, yes.
And you're having to make decisions about allocating resources.
Yes, sir.
And you've got investigations to pursue that were ongoing at the time of the administration. And you're having to take agents off of one thing to put them on another. I know how strapped the resources were even before this administration. Yeah. So you may not want to be precise here, but we need some sense of what kind of resources are being diverted here. So what percentage of your agents would you say, what's your best estimate, what percentage have been called to do immigration enforcement? What percentage of the 200 have at some point in the last 150 days been called away to work on an immigration enforcement action?
Sir, the reason I'm having a hard time answering the question is because we work immigration enforcement as it relates to narcotics enforcement. So the two are intimately combined, and that's what our agents are doing.
Okay. Well, for instance, you know what I'm asking you. With all due respect, you know what I'm asking you. So, what percentage of your agents have been called away to work on immigration raids? That is a departure from what you were doing before 150 days ago.
Sir, my people do not do strictly immigration raids.
What percentage of your agents have worked on immigration enforcement in the last 150 days? Can you give me an estimate?
Again, it's not just immigration enforcement, sir. So I
Okay.
have
Yeah, you clearly don't want to answer the question, Mr. Allen, and this is part of the problem, and that is we are devoting, by some estimates in the FBI, 45% of our agents in major cities, it's a public report, to immigration enforcement actions that are 90% of which going after nonviolent offenders. You're taking them away from somewhere. You're taking them away from somewhere. And you clearly don't want to tell us how much you're taking them away or how much work they're doing on this and what other enforcement actions, what other interdiction they might be pulled away from. But we need answers.
At this point, Schiff is visibly irritated. He accuses the officials of hiding how many agents are being diverted from narcotics investigations to deal with immigration cases. He even claims 45% of FBI agents in major cities are now doing immigration enforcement, referencing a public report. But he doesn't account for how operations actually work in the field, and when you're sitting across from professionals with decades of experience, vague stats and political theater just don't cut it. The law enforcement response? Calm, steady, professional. They calmly point out that resource reallocation is part of operational necessity, not political manipulation. They reiterate, it's not about pulling agents away from drug crimes to go after restaurant workers. It's about tracking overlapping criminal activity. Illegal drugs, cartels, trafficking, and yes, illegal immigration when it crosses into those lanes. Schiff, however, keeps demanding black and white answers for a gray issue. This was supposed to be Schiff's moment, but instead, he ends up looking unprepared and out of touch. His talking points were built for headlines, not field operations, and when real facts started pushing back, it was clear. He wasn't after the truth. He was chasing a narrative. In the end, Schiff didn't land the punch he was aiming for. Instead, he exposed just how far some politicians are willing to go to fit complex issues into neat political soundbites. Today's hearing showed us something powerful. When facts meet spin, facts win, every time. If you value truth over political theater, do me a favor. Smash that like button, drop a comment with your thoughts, and make sure to subscribe for more breakdowns that cut through the noise. See you in the next one.